Can you tell us a little bit about how you see the African Development Resource Pool and its capabilities, say 8 years ago, 6 years ago, compared to today?
Okay, thank you for the opportunity of asking me this question. I think, yes, there's been a lot of transition in terms of things that have come in and going out of Africa in the last 8 years. Yes, a lot of technological improvements and a lot of people within the African continent have also taken advantage of the explosion of technologies that is happening here out. In the last 8 years, there is a kind of incremental improvement in the area of information access within the entire global world. But Africa is also not left out. Advanced technology in the area of data acquisition and the likes has also assisted most African talents to also improve. The events that happened in 2020, which is COVID-19, has actually also assisted most African countries to also know that they have to brace up and they are taking opportunity of quite a lot of this. The advent of many other explosion in area of technologies like blockchain, like the area of data analytics, say hi, and then advanced automating system and software engineering and the likes also. All of these things are coming almost at the same time, and they are also assisting African continent to improve tremendously. So they are taking advantage of this containerization, cloud computing, and Azure, Kubernetes, and almost all of those ones that have actually come now. They are advantageous to growth that you see in the recent within African space. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? So I think in my own experience as well, if you said, "Hey, I need Java developers," that's one thing. Obviously, I think the code base and understanding how to build in the code base and code is fairly benign and flat. And then you have the advent of stronger infrastructure in Africa. You have the advent of learning university-wise and producing excellent talent. And then you have the advent of things like AI, blockchain, cloud, and data. And I think that's what we see as well, right? So for us, I think here in the Netherlands, we look around Europe and we say, hey, there's this option. There's this option for Nearshore that's quite a bit less expensive, and the quality is just as good, right? So it's amazing, I think, what we have today in terms of an option for Europe. And that's really where we wanted to kind of focus our conversation. And so in your mind, how do you feel like what do you think is the blocker really for a sort of a larger scale adoption of African resources as a nearshore option, opposed to say, I don't know, like India, right? So India's 4 or 5 hours away, going east from Europe, and then it's still sort of a widely used alternative. Do you feel like there's things in Africa itself, or maybe there's a disposition or a thinking for European countries? What do you feel like is the rub here or the negative?
Okay, yeah, thank you. I think one of the things that could assist most African countries, just like I said, that they're actually keen to the transition that is happening globally in the world, and most African countries are actually also swinging to this. The reason why I want to also enjoin some of those beliefs to think towards most African countries is because there's a lot of uncultivated talents, and there's a lot of people doing this stuff almost at this time. Yes, I agree with you that a lot of people look towards India when it is time to look for resource, but because plenty people have gone there to also up a lot of resources, and you might go to India now and not to find a lot of people available for pick up again. But Africa has a lot of very good talents, and you can actually tap into it because you have a lot of people doing wonderfully well in the area of choice, and each part of the world is a collection of a place where you have young talents doing great things in technology.
Yeah.
They are innovative, they have the idea, they have the knowledge, and many of them have also proved themselves to be very good and valid for this kind of job because the global world now is more like a common room. And we have a lot of them that have actually had the opportunity to work with the European people, and they have been able to also put their feet to the ground to demonstrate that they have the capacity and they have the strength to be able to actually do the best in their field. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think getting the message out, letting people know that this is truly a rock solid, high quality, very dependable option for the IT leaders, for HR, for the large organizations throughout Europe. They need to embrace the idea that the Africa of yesterday is not the Africa of today, that the acceleration has happened. And I think the opportunity for them is going by. Lower cost resources, high input, great English skills, dedication to the projects and to the clients. All of these things tend to add up to the fact that I think a lot of European companies are just missing out on this option. And so I'm glad we had a chance to talk a little bit about what was, sort of what is, and what we feel like is a lost opportunity for a lot of the European organizations. For me, I think my message is pretty clear. Why don't you consider Africa? Why don't you give it a try and see for yourself that this is a certainly sustainable, very viable option for software development, solution development, and building out your tech teams remotely. So again, Reuben, thank you so much for taking a few minutes. Zarttech is a weekly series. It's usually between 3 and 5 minutes of conversation, nothing heavy. And we will see you again very soon. And thanks
Thank
again,
you.
Reuben. Have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.